Hello and welcome to Daces and Dragons, the best damn TTRPG show on the planet. And welcome to episode 3 of Cup of Sorrow, a homebrew Call of Cthulhu mini campaign set in early 20th century Assam under British colonialism. My name is Rajib Kalita, pronounced he, him, and I shall strive to humbly serve as your keeper of Arcane Lore. I am wearing another white t-shirt today. All of my t-shirts are either white or black. Otherwise, I look the same: cropped hair, scraggly beard, and everything. Yeah, so that's me. I am now going to turn the mic over to a group of incredible cast members, starting first with Alika.
Hello everyone, it's me again, Alika, back to play Dr. Professor Uncle Bhattacharya. Oh god, what was his first name? I've forgotten his name because nobody uses it. Biswanath Bhattacharya, there we go. Yes, I am still apparently cosplaying him. I don't have anything else to wear. I've got my green glasses and my bandi. But yes, excited to see how madness takes it. Oh yeah, my pronoun she, her, anything. Bhattacharya's pronoun he. There we go.
Awesome. Let's have Poorna go next.
Hi everyone, my name is Poorna. I am on the internet as Sundar. I am playing Bani, whose sanity is questionable at the best of times, so who knows what's going to happen next. I am wearing a purple dress and I have curly hair that has its own ideas about its social calendar.
Amazing. Next we have Chao.
Hello, I am Chao, and all my fancy clothes are drenched in rain. So I am wearing this very sad blue shirt over a pink t-shirt, and I have slightly long hair, ponytailed up. My pronouns are they, them. I play the young aspiring journalist Nong Khun. Their pronouns also, their pronouns are they and them. But I don't know if our pronouns are going to be relevant because I don't know if I'm going to die. So that is it.
Finally, we have Val.
Hi everyone, I'm Valiant Dorian. I use he, him, his pronouns. You can find me on the internet at Valiant Dorian or at Autoscriber. Please enjoy that lovely treasure I just sent you on. And tonight, I have the distinct pleasure of playing Bharat, your friend, your pal, the man you can rely on when you need to rely on him. He's totally a gangster, and I hope you enjoy him for however long before his pronouns go from he, him to was, were. So we will see how that goes. I'm a Daisy trans mask individual. I have round tortoiseshell glasses, a popped wavy black hair, and I'm currently wearing a white and green avocado button-up in the hopes that Rajib, our keeper, does not kill us. I'm hoping to appeal to his better senses of my outfit today. Yeah, let's see how we go.
We will. No.
It worked for me, I'm just saying.
Right. So, to begin our third episode, a brief recap of all that happened so far. It is the year 1903. We are in a tea estate in a remote part of Assam. A ragtag team of would-be investigators have been commandeered, literally, to find Mabel, the only daughter of the owner, a Lord Alcott Billingsley. They found burnt human remains in Mabel's room and then followed this ghostly figure into Edwin's room, who is the nephew of Alcott Billingsley, who himself has been missing for about 3 months. Inside, it was as if time had stopped in the middle of an explosion. Within that flying, floating debris, they found a few notes of Edwin and some books, which point towards certain sinister things about comets and blood cults and so on. Next, they went to the observatory where they found mention of something he called the entity, a date about a year from now, and underneath that, a rather ominous proclamation: the entity rises. They learned from the butler Comerford that the Billingsley family has always been cursed by misfortune, I mean, if one were to disregard the tremendous fortunes that they have built upon the backs of the labor class, that is. Regardless, with the knowledge that the children of the village have also been going missing for some time, our investigators decided to make their way down to the village just as the sun reached its zenith behind the clouds, because the sky still happens to be overcast. So at this point, you're quite close to the village, which means that Professor Bhattacharya has had sufficient time to go through the two books that Khun found in Edwin's room. You, being someone of scholarly pursuit, have a more methodical way of going through the books, so perhaps you unearth more information from them. The first book is a chronicle of occult activities that took place in the region, written by a 7th century monk and far traveler Khun. I mean, Assam, or at least parts of Assam, was at one time infamous as the land of sorcery, or as they call Jadutona. So that is not very surprising. From Edwin's footnotes that he put down on the book, you can tell that he was particularly interested in the cult of a blood goddess that operated in this very region and had numerous temples. It speaks of this goddess who came down from the stars in a golden ship and made life better for her followers by annihilating the enemies of said followers. In return, all she asked for was a sacrifice of blood. As you flip through the pages of the book, you find a loose sheet among the pages, and as you take it out, it turns out to be a hand-drawn map. And from your time here at the estate, you have spent some time here, so you can tell that it is in fact a map of this tea estate, the Poorna tea estate, and it has a particular location that is marked with a red circle. Further perusal of the notes reveals that Edwin was looking into ways of reawakening this goddess, and he believed that that could be accomplished with a suitable blood sacrifice. However, his notes failed to mention for what purpose he was looking into that. The second book, Monsters and the Kind, it offers a compendium of eldritch creatures and even ways to summon and control them, or at least it claims to. Then some of the names included in the book include the Ice Demon, the Faceless One, Invisible Serpent, and the Star Walker. These are just a few of the names that you just, as you flip through, you recorded. So, I mean, of course, ability to summon creatures like this, it's an incredible power that comes at an incredible cost. To actually learn how to accomplish such a thing would take months of detailed study and practice. However, the book purports that there is another faster way, which is by consuming the book.
By what?
By consuming the book, quite literally. And of course, the cost, as it mentions, is going to be far higher. But I mean, great power comes at a great cost. So, I mean, you do get a preview of that, what that cost could be right now as your head starts to hurt. And reality in front of your eyes, it just seems to warp and weave as you pour through the books. So, from all of this, you are going to take...
May I light up my pipe and put something in it and smoke?
Yeah, some of the things which you seem to have a stock of. You will take 10 points of sanity damage from that.
Yeah.
Yes. Roll an 8 on 8.
Wow.
Some good things do come out of it, because you can add +2 to your Cthulhu Mythos score, whatever that is. It's likely to be 0 at this point. And a +5 to your occult, your knowledge of the occult.
Oh, great.
Even a brief perusal does enhances your knowledge by that much. So, I mean, you did not have to roll a sanity check for this, because the loss of sanity is automatic. But you do have to roll an intelligence check. And you want to fail this check.
I do?
Yes.
Well, this is not going to be easy. My intelligence is pretty high.
Yes.
Uh-oh. That's a 009. That's
a very good success.
Yeah. Oh no.
Right. So, I mean, you are reading through this, you are learning more and more about abominations, eldritch entities, cults, and blood goddesses, and all of that thing. So, and your your analytical mind is able to make sense of all of it, which is unfortunate for you, because
Oh no.
as you read, as you're reading through this book, you're getting to the end, but you feel this heavy weight on the back of your head, and you also see in front of your eyes just this blur. The world is literally just disappearing in front of your eyes.
This
And
happens to me when I read lots of books, but
Yes.
it's maybe not so intense.
especially when augmented with the things that you put in your pipe, which is also not helping at this point.
I think it would help. This is
Yes.
doing the opposite.
Right. So as your vision clears a little bit,
Uh-huh.
you look around and you see your childhood home around you, which is strange. As you see that everything around you, the furniture, the tables, the chairs that are around you, that they are far higher than what they should be. Perhaps you find yourself once again in the body of a 5-year-old Biswanath. You hear sounds of
no.
arguing coming from the other room, and you know what it is. They are at it again.
Not again.
But this time, it is a little different, because it just keeps going. It keeps escalating. It keeps getting louder and louder. There are things being thrown. And after a point, the door slams open. You see your father come in. He packs a bag and he gets out of the front door and just leaves. Your mother
No.
is weeping. Your mother, the love of
Oh
your
no.
life. She turns to you,
Yeah.
little you, looks down to you. She has tears in her eyes. And she says, "You did this. This is all your fault. This is all because of you." And then your vision just blacks out.
Mama. Oh, what? Wait. No. I try to go back into the vision. Wait, I can fix this. I'll catch him back. I'll bring him back.
It's all of these. I mean, as you read it, part of your analytical mind was also at play. It was also working, and you could feel all of these memories just like creeping in, digging in like a drill into your core memories. All of the things that you read, those words, those visions, they were just digging in and just infiltrating, infecting all of the memories. You could feel that. And now with your vision blanking out, it's just confusion. It's all of these different images, different pictures. You throughout your life, you see all these images pass by fast, extremely fast, as it's your life flashing before you. But it's also all of those things just seem corrupted, seem infected, seem somehow different, and all for the worse. So all of this is happening. Obviously, the Nong is kind of right next to you. He sees that everything is not all right with Professor at this moment. But while that is happening, something else was going on as well. As the professor poured over the book, presumably assisted by Nong at that point of time, they were not really paying attention to what was going on around. But Bani and Bharat were paying attention, and they witnessed something just a little bit unusual. The workers, who mostly women, as they picked tea leaves from the garden, picking out the saplings and putting them in the basket behind them, they just seemed to be a little too much in sync. And then they turned, their eyes were all black. You saw this, those eyes were staring at you. You can't say they were staring at you, it was just the eyes that were staring at you. But then only for a moment, because I mean, the eyes, they return to normal. You don't really know how much time passes. It could have been a second, it could have been a minute, it could have been more. But they just turned back to normal. They resumed their work as if nothing had happened, and no longer in sync. So all of this happens. You are quite close to the village right now, the coolie lines. You can almost see it from here where you are. There are still these tea gardens, these tea plantations on either side of this muddy ditch that goes that is the road that leads to the village. And yeah, that's where you are. What happens?
Can I see now?
It will take you actually. Let me roll. Yeah, actually no. It will take you about 2 minutes to return back to your own self. So that is not going to take it. A lot happens. You suffer a lot. It feels like an eternity, but it actually just 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, you come back to your current
I
state.
mean, if it feels like an eternity, I am going to say to the others, everybody, there's something. I'm not feeling all right. Can we take a break? Can we pause? There's something wrong here. I can't see. Everyone?
Bharat probably had his hand on his knife or something that he had, or like a small machete, and there was, it kind of looks like he was about to like yell something at the women who were harvesting tea leaves, but then stops because they stopped. The look stopped. And so he turns around to Dr. Professor Uncle, to Dr. Bhattacharya, and he kind of just looks at him and goes, "What's wrong? What's wrong, Uncle? Age catching up to you, is it?"
I can't
At this
see.
point, I think Bani would like, yeah, when Bharat is being so disrespectful of elders, Bani would be like,
going here.
and
Only 8 years my senior, but yes.
yes, but this matters, at that time and at that in this one. So yeah, so Bani, who is also expecting some respect from Bharat, would be like, just like on your arm, and then like as Bani hits Bharat's arm, notices the hand on the knife, and then kind of exchanges looks with Bharat like, I mean, doesn't say anything, but kind of like a,
Yeah, I think Bharat wordlessly looks at you, and there is a glimmer of maybe something you've never seen in Bharat's eyes before, and it's dread. You've never seen this self-assured man be filled with dread in this one moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bani is not used to this. Bharat is supposed to be always brave, always ready to defend any physical boundaries that are being crossed. So yeah, Bani's even more freaked out that Bharat is freaked out.
Yeah.
And then Bani goes, wait, it stopped itching. Let's just get to the village. This is something is off.
Yeah, I think Bharat will like walk up to the doctor and it's just like, "Doctor, you can see me, right?" Like, and he's like snapping in your face to kind of like look at him. Are you able to?
Maybe at the last moment, I'll be like, wait, no, Papa, Mama, no, wait, it's back, wait, no, oh, Bharat, wait, yes, I see you now, I see you, okay, wait, 1 second, where are we? Tea estate, that's right, going to the village, correct, okay, yes. Oh, we should put these books away. I put the books, do I have a bag? I would say I have a bag, right? Do I have a bag of stuff like books and shit?
I can put it back in my bag.
Oh, yes, then please take it. Take them. Also, don't read them. Not light-hearted reading, not light reading at all. Would recommend only if you're feeling very daring. But yes, honestly, The strangest things in that book. I really wish I'd found magazines under the bed. But extremely disturbing things there. I did not know what Edwin's been getting into. All sorts of outlandish cults and ways to summon monsters. I mean, none of this should be real, right? You can't summon monsters.
Dude.
Monsters?
Yeah, or doodles.
I mean, there's like rituals. You have to sacrifice things. It's all nonsense. It can't possibly be like actually scientifically work.
No,
I think Bharat would make a face, because, like, I don't think in many like practices in those days, like, there are like rural sects or religious practices that do require sacrifice. So I think Bharat would, especially in like villages and stuff like that. So Bharat would like furrow his brow, and he's like, "What, puja for what monsters?"
Something to
That what you're
call
talking
them
about?
to you.
Bani would say would remember the diary that she saw at the observatory, and say that just before you failed to find whatever was attacking my neck, I read in that diary that we found, I think Edwin Baba's diary at the observatory, I read something about a monster, an entity which is rising. What does that mean? It will be rising.
So he is involved in this. He is trying to summon some monster. This isn't just like reading for fantasy fun.
I mean, it didn't seem like it. It just.
What has he been getting up to?
It was a diary. It was his diary.
Why didn't his parents even think to put a stop to this? This is ridiculous.
I mean, but consider with parental options he has.
Oh, that is right. I did forget.
There is Dottie, who is aptly named, and also there is, his uncle, who doesn't seem to care at all about his well-being.
No, that was quite upsetting, honestly.
It was.
But in any case, he's gotten involved in some cult or sect or something or the other.
But how? We really should speak to this person that he's been fraternizing with in the village.
Yes.
So I'm assuming you are making your way to the village as you speak, right? And it is not like you were quite close to the village in any case when all of this happened. You're right outside the village is when a person emerges from the tea plantations. It comes up almost right to the edge of the village. You see this person emerge, but they do not have the basket behind them. They were not picking tea leaves, that's for sure. Instead, they have a rather large X slung on their shoulder. And those of you who know her immediately recognize her to be Tapti.
Mhm.
She stands before you, her arms crossed around her chest, and she stands almost as a barrier to you as you are attempting to enter the village. She looks to you and says, "What are you doing back here? We don't need any more of Billingsley's dogs sniffing around here. We have had enough of them already today."
Tapti, what are you saying? Bharat and I were here this morning. We're not anybody's dogs.
We have had Hagrama and his people come into the village, go through people's houses, destroy property, beat up people, us looking for this girl they lost. We don't have her here. And now you are here, coming down from the bungalow.
No one is saying, at least we are not saying that the girl is here. And
We are
if
not.
she were here, then no one is accusing you of anything.
Update. I'd like to imagine that Bharat and Tapti had like a generally not great relationship. It's kind of been slightly antagonistic.
100%.
And he's just like, hey, listen, making a lot of assumptions here, right? Dogs. What do you think the white white sahibs over there are going to do when they find no other options but blame the entire village? We are all bloody screwed. So, yes, they came in here. Yes, they were digging around. Better us than them, right? And believe me, beating up the people will be the least of your problems if they decide to find further fault with us. So get
Not
out of the
sure.
way.
Not sure you're having the comforting effect you wanted to, Bharat. And Bani kind of taps his shoulder.
Yeah, I think you can see that Bharat's like, he literally looks like a like angry dog. His hackles are raised. He's
Right,
so
right.
impatient.
Not taking well to the threat. Do roll me an intimidation check, please.
Yes.
Let's see where we go there. Where we get there. I think it shouldn't be too bad for you. Tapti is still looking witheringly at you, and it's like she's saying, pointing to Bani, you say, you work for Billingsley. Pointing at Professor and say, you work for Billingsley. Pointing at Bharat, she says, you work for money. That's the same thing. And finally, she points to Nong Khun and says, I have no idea who the fuck you are, but there's a pattern.
Well,
right?
and then she says that, and I like take out like the letter that she has sent me, and then I'm like, well, who said anything about looking for the daughter? We are here to look for your children, and I sort of hand her the letter that I have.
Yeah, she recognizes it immediately, and she says, "Oh." The tone changes immediately. She doesn't have to read the letter. She recognizes it immediately as she says, I had sent this to a newspaper, to a Mr. Sarif. Are you Mr. Sarif?
Well, Sariful is my superior. And I work as if you were when we were asking around who you work for, and I think that would be Sariful in this case. And if you know Sariful, you know Sariful works for the people, and so do I. But as Bharat said, no, not so many in his own way. I think doom is upon us if we don't find that girl. And if we don't find that girl, I don't think we have any chance of finding all the children who have gone missing.
She says, "Yeah, I know Sariful's work. I know his other work also, of the more revolutionary kind. Fine. You say you want to find the children that we are missing. You have anything more to say? Bharat?"
I rolled.
She says,
I rolled a
"What did you
50,
roll?"
and my intimidation after hitting Control F to find it is a 60. So I just succeeded.
Just succeeded. Right. So she says, "You have anything else to add, Bharat?" But then you like her tone has already changed, and that defiance is no longer there in her voice at all. And as she looks to you, it's like she is measuring you up. For a while, she stares directly at you. You have had similar encounters before as well. This hasn't always ended this way, but this time she kind of lowers her eyes, which might be a first for whatever reason. So she says, all right. Let me take you to, if you have anything to add.
No, I think Bharat just like gives her the look. Like this is a look exchange between hardened people who have been through hardened lives. And it is a look that communicates that, look, I have no quarrel with you today. I need to get shit done for both of us. So it's like a silent respectful thank you of, thank you for listening to me. But yeah, it's definitely like communicating like the direness of the situation. So
She recognizes that look. She acknowledges it. She gives you a nod that you know is kind of giving back that same respect that you gave to her. And she says to you, all of you, that right, let me take you to Romani. I think she'll be able to explain things better. And she leads you into the village. You know, Bharat and Bani, you are well aware that Romani is like the de facto leader of the village. So you make your way inside the village. Professor Bhattacharya and Nong, especially you two, it is almost shocking the living conditions inside the village. It is like extremely poor, extremely difficult, that you can see clearly. However, you also see that the village is quite empty and very quiet because it is middle of the day. So most of the people would be out in the fields working, men, women, children. So as you make your way through the quiet village, Tapti leads you to one of the houses. But as you come close to this, you hear voices of little children as you draw close. You enter the hut behind Tapti and find that there is hardly any room inside the place because there are a dozen or so children inside, ranging in age from toddlers to 6 to 7 years old. They are just milling about. There is no furniture. It is completely bare inside, but there are drawings made by kids, quite obviously, which are hung on the walls. And there is this middle-aged, frazzled-looking woman with them, who is like trying her best to wrangle all the kids with just her one arm. So Tapti enters. She says, Romani, there are some people here to see you. And she turns, and you see this short, tan woman with long black hair. She looks to be about your age, Bani, with fine lines adorning her face and grays starting to show in her hair. And you can see that her left arm is amputated just above the elbow. The short sleeve of her simple brown blouse, it just hangs loosely. She looks to you and she says, she recognizes Bani and Bharat. She says, Bani and Bharat, I'm sorry, I do not know you two. So Romani looks to recognizes two of you, but she does not. So she looks to the professor and Nong inquisitively. So what do you say?
Hello, it's very nice to meet you. I'm Professor Biswanath Bhattacharya. I'm working as a botanist here on the tea plantation and have been roped in to help investigate this mysterious disappearances.
Oh, you are here to look for our children.
That would be helpful, yes.
Really?
If we can do that, that would be incredible.
That would be incredibly helpful to us. We are incredibly grateful that at least somebody is doing something about it. I'm sorry, sir, I do not recognize you
Well,
as well.
I'm Tapti's friend, I suppose, and I'm here to help you out in terms of. I heard distress that there are children going around missing, so I just came here to sort of look for them.
Oh, well, good. I can tell you all about it, but it will be difficult to speak here. Please come with me outside. She turns to Tapti and says, Tapti, take care of the kids while I'm gone. And but as you look to Tapti, you can see that her face has a look of pure terror right now. Like all of the perhaps well-founded bravado that she had before, that kind of disappears, and she looks to Romani with like these pleading eyes. But Romani says, "It's okay, you will manage. I'm confident." And so Romani kind of leads the rest of you as you see the children kind of like start to like pull at Tapti's arm, start to like jump around her, and she just does this defeated look. Romani leads you outside of this hut to the literal center of the village, where there is this great banyan tree, and you can see that all of the houses, all of the huts in this village, they radiate around from this center point. There is a platform that is built around the banyan tree for people to sit and speak. That is what it is meant for. So she leads you there. She like waits for you to get comfortable, and then she starts telling you what happened. So she says, I suppose I should start from the beginning. uh, in the last 3 months, 6 people were taken from the village, all separately. The first one to be taken was this nice young man named Atua, and after that 5 more people just disappeared. After 3 to 5 days away from everything, they all returned, but they were not the same. They would fail to recognize even their family members, could not even perform the most basic tasks, and well, now and then they would become extremely violent. They would attack whoever was next to them. They would also blabber something incessantly. We could not understand what they were saying, but they would just blabber something constantly. They're still in the village. We have kept them tied. We have kept them confined to their own houses for their own protection. But about a month ago, these abductions they just stopped. Then children started disappearing. 4 children have disappeared so far, and unfortunately, none of them have returned. The 4 children that were taken, I can tell you their details. Their names are the first one to go was his name was Thon. He's 11 years old. Then 2 more went. They were Onil and Nishi. Onil is 8, Nishi is 6 years old, and then just last week, little Piku was taken. She's just 5 years old. So Thorn was taken when he was working in the gardens. You see, we have to start. Our children have to start working from 10 years old. So he was working, and nobody really saw what happened. He just disappeared, and he was gone. The next to go, Onil and Nishi, they are actually brother and sister. They had gone to the old well to collect water. Well, the thing is, we have a well in the village, but it has dried up recently. So we are having to travel to this place, which is like half an hour away from the village. We have to go all the way there to get our water. And well, some say that the place is haunted. It seems like it existed before this garden was there. It's a really old place. It's crumbling, and the water is also quite bad. We have to boil the water. We have to filter out all the worms from it. Only then we can use it. But well, we have no other way. So while these children had gone to the well to get water, they never came back. And well, last week, Piku, he was also taken from the well. His mother was right there with him. She saw him one moment, and the next moment he was gone. We did go down the well. We climbed down. Some of us went down there. We thought they might have fallen in, but they weren't there. There were just some strange alcoves or something down there with some statues, but not much else. We couldn't find anything. And well, our children have been gone. Our men from the village have gone and come back with their minds shattered, and the owner and the managers, they have not paid any attention to our plight in all this time. We went to them. We said that when the men went missing, we told our people are going missing, and they just said that they might have drunk and wandered off. Then when the children went missing, we again went to them. We talked about it, and they said that, well, children disappear all the time. They must have run away. They just laughed in our faces and sent us away. They just have these quotas to fill, and that is all they care about. But well, perhaps now there's hope with you here. That is all I can tell you about what happened, and I think I've told everything I know. If you have any questions.
Bharat flashes probably a look over the Nong-kun. I think they both had the realization at the same time of, wait, that first man that disappeared was the so-called companion of Edwin. And I think like Bharat like leans forward and he said, that man that always hangs out at the liquor store, Atwa, he disappeared.
Yes, he actually runs the liquor store. I don't think he imbibes too much of his own product. He just runs it, and his young sister, has been running it since then. But yeah, Atu was the first one to go. Why do you ask? Do you know him? Have you talked to him before? I mean, I
This-
suppose you have.
I'm
Yes.
sorry to interrupt, but this happened 3 months ago?
Yes, Atua disappeared 3 months ago. He was the first one to go.
That's roughly around the time Edwin disappeared, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. You see Bharat
Yes.
kind of just makes a noise.
When you
No, I
mentioned Edwin, Roman, it does say, "Oh yes, the nephew of the Bada Sahab. Yes, he used to come by the village now and then. At first, we were a little apprehensive of having somebody, one of the sahibs here, but well, he seemed a nice, good enough chap actually, and quite surprisingly, in fact. And I think yes, he was very good friends with Atua. They would spend a lot of time together.
I think maybe they might have gone somewhere together. We should speak to Atua if we can. Are they in any state to speak? Or do they not talk?
No, unfortunately, I do not think so. You can find Atua in his home, but we have we had no choice other than to tie him up to a pillar in his own home, and he just blabbers incessantly. We have to force him to eat. It's just maybe we have lost him forever. He's barely there.
I look to the others. I say, maybe it's worth it to go and listen to the babbling and see if he says anything of interest.
I'm very much interested in going to see Atua if I can.
Did the well dry up at the same time that the kids disappeared?
Our well, no, it has. No, I mean, now that I think about it, yes, about a month, maybe a little bit more. That is when our well dried up. I mean, there are lots of wells in the garden, there, but we are not allowed to use those because they're for the sahabs or for the factory. We have no choice but to go to this old well.
And Pico disappeared near the well that dried up, or a different one?
No, the old well,
The one that we are forced to use now.
yes. The first child to go missing, Don, he was working in the garden when he disappeared, but all the other three, they were actually near the well when they disappeared.
I'm nobody likes thinking about cruelty to children, and I'm sorry to bring this up, but
Yes.
do you suspect anyone?
No, I mean, it's not like the children or they belong to all different families. They don't even live very close to each other. We did think about if there is something that connects all of these people that went missing or the children that we lost, but we couldn't think of anything. It just seems so random.
Except for the fact that three of them disappeared near a well. I think it's worth going there as well. If we can, let's speak to Atua first. See if we can figure out anything. And if there's nothing useful there, maybe we can go and see this well. I don't know if Mabel would be around there. I don't think she's ever been to the village, has she?
Would Bani know whether Mabel's been to the village?
That depends entirely on you. Would Mabel have would Bani have brought Mabel to the village at some point of time, surreptitiously?
I mean, I think maybe once. I feel like Mabel would have insisted on asking.
Yeah.
But given that Bani lives at the house, it wouldn't have been often. It would just have been once maybe. And then been like, please don't get me completely fired from my job.
Yes. So in that case, yes.
I had brought her here once, but that was a couple of years ago when she was smaller and had less of a understanding of the word no. She's not been since. Not with me.
That's strange.
Professor Bhattacharya, perhaps retroactively, but would you like to make a navigate roll?
Sure.
Might not
What am I navigating?
super easy for you, but we'll see if you happen to pass.
It's not great, I'm gonna say. What is my navigate? I mean, I rolled a 71, which
Yes.
isn't great.
That would likely to be failure. So
My navigate is 10. Yes, that's a big fail.
yeah. So for a moment, your mind goes back to the map that you saw. Perhaps if it has any significance to all of this, but you can't really think of any connection.
Piece of paper. You draw on it.
Did Nong see that map at any point when he was going through the stuff? When they were going through the stuff?
Nong Khun gave me a luck roll. I did not mention it then, but if it works.
Okay, I'm rolling. I don't have access to my stats, but I'm rolling. So just let me know.
No problem. I'll get your sheet out.
It's 14.
Oh, I mean, your luck is a 20, which is not much, but a 14 does pass. So you would have also come across this map when you first shuffle through the book.
Okay. So, but the thing is, do I recall? Because I'm not that intelligent. Do I recall about the map while I'm going through all of this stuff?
I'll leave that to you.
I mean, you would be good at investigating, right? Because you're an investigative journalist, so maybe you could investigate.
You should be good at like piecing things together. So therefore, if there's a map.
I mean, considering all of that, yes, I guess I'll just look around and be like thinking, as we're traversing the area and like Old Well and everything is mentioned, just my mind gazes off to the map. Should I do a
And you were with the
roll?
professor while he was going through, and you can roll a navigate roll again. As this question appears in professor's mind, you also consider it.
It's 42.
Not gonna cut it. Your navigate is 10, which is I think the same for all of you. None of you put navigate, so it's fine. No problem. You were discussing that it is perhaps beneficial to speak with Atua if you can, and also visit this well where children have been going missing. So as you have a question.
As I do have a question, which is basically, and that will determine what I do next. Like at some point, is that when in the card, did I see Bharat and Bani exchange looks in terms of Bharat having his hand on his what we call knife, and a look of dread that they exchange.
At the very least, his hand on his blade, he was not actively concealing. I think that was an instinctual survival instinct. You would at least know that. The look, maybe if you were particularly paying attention to him, you would catch it, but that would be the one that would require for you to be looking at him.
Okay, gotcha.
Right. So you did notice him go for his knife, his dagger, kukri, da, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Insert curved blade implement here.
Yes. So okay. Noted. I will use that information later. But thank you.
So if Ramani says I'm sure you would, if you're looking for children, you have places that you want to look at. But I really think we should relieve Tapti now. I don't know how she's doing in there.
Maybe that's for the best.
Yeah.
Let's lead on the way.
So she leads you back to that same hut with all the children, which seems like the daycare of this village. And as you open the door, you see that Tapti is doing push-ups, and the slightly older children are piling on toddlers on top of her back, one after the other. So she's like putting more and more effort to lift them until like she just gives up and like breathes out flat on the floor. And when she hears the door open, she turns her still lying on the ground, turns her neck to see Ramani, and there's this look of relief in her eyes. Ramani comes in, gets all the children out and all that. Tapti gets up, but like before you have any chance to really interact here, you hear a shout coming from outside, saying, Ramani Pehi. And Pehi is like its aunt basically. Is actually Bua, your father's sister, but it seems like this person is calling out for Romani, and you see this teenage boy come to the door huffing. He looks in, sees Romani and then Tapti as well. Romani Pehi, Tapti Didi, Atua, he's gone. He broke the ropes and ran off.
Ah, no! We were
Bharat
just going to
swears.
speak to him.
This seems like a weird coincidence. Weird. At this point, I feel like I would so Bani would turn to Romani and ask if I know that you have to go and deal with this. I understand, but before you go, didn't you say that three to five others also came back the same time Atua did?
Yes.
Should we check on them as well?
Yeah, perhaps they might be running away as well. At this point, Tapti asks this boy that came in. He says, "Madhav, did you see which way he went?" And Madhav says, "I think it was towards the well, the old well."
Damn
There's
well.
something about this well. I guess we should go there.
Tapti says, "Yes, I am going there right now to see if I can find Atua, because if we leave him be, he might harm himself, he might harm others. If you want to come with me, you're welcome to."
Oh, I think that's a good idea. We should go.
Before we go, I think there is Bani would probably notice this, and probably Nong because Nong paying very, very close attention to Bharat. But there's a sinking feeling that is pulling at Bharat's chest and stomach. And he'll turn over to Romani with very, very like small boy eyes, like kind of like a little sad, like pleading eye.
Yeah.
Where he asks her, "Auntie, can you check on if anything, just check on Rahul for me later?"
Oh,
Bani, you would know that Rahul is a young man in the village that Bharat spends a lot of time with.
good friend.
Very good friends. They're very
Yes.
close friends.
Yes.
Sure.
Ramani sees the look, and there's a hint of recognition in her eyes, as if she understands. She says, you can call me Pehi. Everybody calls me Pehi. And, well, yes, I will. Rahul is well. He seems fine, but yes, if you want, I will check on him. Don't worry.
And then the look turns serious, and he says, "Anything, please go check on him."
Okay, I will do that. Don't worry, Bharat. Don't worry. I know that he is a very good friend of yours. We'll make sure that he's safe.
He nods, and then hand on his blade, looks over the Tapti, and is like, "Okay, Didi, you lead the way." And he cracks his knuckles.
All right. So Tapti leads you away from the village towards the well. In fact, the ground is still wet with mud, and as you cross the village, the boundary of the village, a drizzle once again starts, as would have been expected. So there were a lot of footprints within the village, but as you leave the village, there is a set of footprints with very long strides, as if someone has like just sprinted away. And Tapti recognizes those footprints. So do you. At least that there are footprints leading away, and it is going towards the well. So she follows those footprints. It takes 20 minutes or so, and as you get further and further from the village, the scenery seems to change quite a bit. You enter what seems like a more forested kind of an area. There are no tea gardens here. For some reason, the sahibs have left this area alone. Who knows what that is? But you make your way, and finally you come to this place where you see this crumbling structure. It is a well, but it is quite big. It is about 25 feet diameter, this structure, and it's like this old crumbling thing that is kind of falling apart almost. But it does look quite different from anything else that you have seen so far in the garden. It does has this feeling of something ancient. Even the whole place around it, the trees around it, they seem ancient. They seem like much older than any other trees that you have seen in the garden that have probably been grown. There are interspersed in between the tea plantations. There are always these trees that are grown, which give shade to the tea plants. So they were grown, but these trees here, they look like really ancient. If those footprints, they go all the way to the edge of the well and then disappear. They do not go around the well or beyond it. And as you look down, you can see this glimpse of water, which seems to be 60 feet or so below. There is also a rope and a bucket next to the well. There is no pulley as such. There's just a rope and a bucket. And yeah, that's about it. That's what you see. Nong, you have a question?
Yes. On our way, if it's okay with the party, I would like to make 2 check-ins. First with Biswanath, and I'd like to make it in not like, I don't want to make it like publicly. I mean, I'm not trying to hide it, but like again, I'm gonna go up to first. Yes, just a little bit aside, and I'll go to Biswanath uncle, and I'll be like, read the books.
Yeah, yes, I did. I thought, it would be helpful if I could understand what Edwin was interested in. Maybe it would help us, figure out whatever mysterious things are happening in the estate. I do regret it. It was not some thing I wish to have ever found out about. The ramblings of strange things. You read it as well, didn't you? A little.
Yes. I mean, not as much as you, but I think we had very similar reaction. Apart from the feeling of regret that you have, I was enthralled by it.
Dad?
Well, I did see some images, but it was not pretty.
Yes, it seems to have that kind of effect.
So would Bani be able to hear what they're saying?
Up to you.
Depends. Like Nong said, they did take the professor aside just a little bit. Yeah. Are you actively trying to listen?
I think when they step aside and like they're chatting for a bit longer, and like it seems like to Bani whether that they're, because Bani is in a paranoid state, right? So
Right.
So it seems like they're trying to withhold information, and already Bani is like, 2 super educated people should not be left to their own devices. So Bani sidles up to them and is just like,
yeah, I mean,
are you really taking a break to discuss art? Because she just hears nothing about pictures.
No, not art. This is, to some degree, we think related to what we're looking for. It's just very perplexing.
So at this point, without like going into the whole thing, I think Bani would mention, as she did before, the diary entry that she saw of Edwin's and the whole entity is rising and this one. So just to be like, and then switching back to Bani's voice, what is the point of having these side conversations? We are all looking for children who are missing. Now, the point is, how do we get down into this well? I feel like younger people should do this.
I agree. Younger people should do this. Bharat, Nongkun, if you're volunteering, may God be with you.
Bharat turns around because he's like following Tapti, and he's like, "Oh, now you're an uncle. Now, conveniently, you're an uncle."
Listen. Once you pass 35, young man, you will know your joints start paining. Okay.
So much
I
pain.
cannot climb down a well anymore.
Cannot.
If there is a tunnel,
Correct.
then I can maybe try, but not like climb down a well. What is?
And there are statues apparently at the bottom of the well, and clearly Professor has had enough of art. So why don't some of us who have flexibility do this, and some of us will stay up here just in
I'm just gonna
case.
look at Nong Khun, who is probably much slimmer and not as well built as he is. Hearing this description of these two as if we are the same caliber, and Bharat like looks at Nong Khun up and down, and then looks at Bani.
What? And also, I think so. So if Tapti is also there, I would want to know whether Tapti speaks up about having gone down. Like, was she one of the people who had gone down, please?
So you ask her and she says, yes, I had gone down before into the well. We thought we didn't see anything down there, but we still went down, but the children weren't there.
So can we kind of look around the area of the well, if there's anything, like if there's an obvious kind of place where, I don't know, you can see evidence of people having made their own paths through the trees or something.
We're looking for a secret.
That will be there is a check for that, which is track, which is akin to a survival check where you're specifically looking for footprints and so on. So you can roll that. Nong Khun, there was something else you wanted to do on the way?
No, basically I wanted to do another check-in in Bharat, but as sort of Bani interrupts us, and then I just very softly say to her, like, this is the first time my tone has changed with Bani, and I'm like, when she accuses us of not having conversations in plain sight, and I say, we're having conversations only because we wanted to. I very slightly say that, and I then look around for other footprints and things like that.
What did you say? These young eyes and young
Sorry, I didn't
ears.
catch that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. They like actually didn't catch it in real life.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the
Actually
character
didn't catch it.
Didn't catch it. Actually.
Okay, sorry. Sorry. So I'll very snidely say that, like, if we're having side conversations, it's only because we want you to. And then I sort of walk away and be like, okay, I'll look for footprints. And this is the time where I'm not like where Nong Khun is not using the flowery language and all. He's just code switches and like
Plainly. Yeah.
plainly.
Speaking plainly. So, the people who are looking for footprints, you can roll a track check.
Wait, I don't think I will.
I rolled spot hidden because I thought that's what you said. So.
Yeah. Spot hidden might give you some things, but thing is, we don't really have to waste a lot of time with track rolls because see, it has been raining constantly for some time. You see the recent footprints. You rolled a very good result. It looks like no.
I rolled a 1. Now, if you do not consider that a good, if you do not respect a 1 now.
Yeah.
You rolled a 1 and now you're going to go insane.
No.
But
That's
you're
just
looking.
how it works.
You're looking specifically for tracks, footprints. What are you looking for?
I am just looking around for anything that might suggest that some occultist bullshit must have happened here, and signs of those kind of things is what I am looking for.
Right. You look around. Footprints are almost out of the question because the ground is constantly being washed away by the rain that keeps pouring. The freshest footprints are presumably those of Atua, so you see those quite clearly. You look for signs of untoward activity, so to speak, around, which you do not find any. As like there has been quite a lot of movement here recently. That is from people coming here to get water, as you have been told. But you are quite sure that at least above ground, no activities, no occult related activities have taken place, so you're quite sure of that. However, close to the well, almost indiscernible. In fact, you find this on top of one of the bricks of the well, and most people would have missed it. But you, with your investigative sense, you find some ash.
No. Not the ash.
Uncle, please go and taste.
Feeling snackish? Feeling snackish?
Ready for you.
How much ash?
Bust up. I can give you a teaspoon or so. You can go and taste.
No, stop. But how much ash though?
Compared to
Just a little bit, a tiny bit. It would have.
Does it look like something that just got spilled along the way accidentally, or is like something burnt over there?
No, it got spilled. There is no signs of burns. To your trained eyes and trained other senses, it does seem very similar to the ash that you found in.
What do you mean trained other senses? Do you want to clarify
No.
that for me, please?
I won't. But yeah, it does seem similar. Tapti gives you a little more detail about what's down there. She tells you that there's this tree. On the bottom, there is this platform around the water. The water itself is not very deep. It is quite shallow, which perhaps explains the worms in it. There are these three... No, I can't say openings. I think the word for it is alcoves into the wall of the well. And it goes in a little bit deep. And there is some platform. And there are some statues on top of it. There are 3 of them and 3 statues in each. And, we took torches down there. It is quite dark. There are some things on top of the statue. It might have been dried blood, but it is from a long time ago.
I'm sorry. You are being remarkably cavalier about this dried
Not at all.
blood.
We got very, very creeped out by all of that. We saw that there was no point going further. The children were obviously not there, so we just went. We climbed up. We have no plans of going back down there. At least, I don't.
Well, I think we're going to have to go.
I can hold a rope while you climb down if you want me to do that. I'm strong.
Bani steps back.
I'm
Bani is unqualified in many ways for this.
I mean, if you sit in the bucket, I can gently.
Yeah, that
lower
seems
you
like a
down
good idea.
If you want to.
Okay,
I mean, I would consider it undignified.
correct. I
Somebody
also
of
would
your-
consider it undignified for someone of my age. I am in full agreement with you. What a terrible idea for me to go down there. Anybody else?
Peppa.
I mean, aren't we out here to save your dignity anyway? A little bit of undignity on the way is okay, no?
Listen.
It's
Your
okay,
upbringing is coming into serious question. Rick.
Oh my god!
Who
Well,
taught
so-
you manners? Who?
Bani,
Wow.
it's okay though. Your employers aren't here. They're not going to see this.
Anna.
Actually, I wasn't clear
Right.
when she was talking to me or you, but I feel like either way, it's a good shout. So somebody else, go ahead.
I
enjoy the
volunteer
dignity.
Nong Khun for this. I feel like he will be the most I won't say interested, but he would get the most out of going there because he is good at observing things and recording things.
Young eyes.
Sorry, they are good at
Young
observing and
eyes.
recording things. Yes,
Young eyes.
young eyes.
Yeah, but you're so good at tasting the ash. How would we fare without you?
Well,
Ash
they
is
can
the-
bring back the ash if you need taste.
Uncle is not even saying no to the ash anymore. Bring it back for me. Like,
Anything you find, it's
people,
mine.
Like people who are like, please can you pick this up?
Can you-
for me
when
from
you go
duty free?"
shopping,
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's not the point. The ash is irrelevant, okay? We don't even know what the ash is. The ash is apparently human remains, but they are in random places like your estate house, in Mabel's room, and in Edwin's room, and in the well. Clearly, this ash thing is not something that has been burnt immediately. It is something that somebody is carrying and dropping all over the place, or
So-
something like that.
So it turns out the suggestion that Edwin or people are carrying ash from room to room was not as stupid as I previously thought.
No, it actually may have been right. Well done.
Bharat impatiently hops onto the rope. Looks at Tapti with the.
Yeah.
He looks at Tapti of like, if you drop this and kill me, I will haunt you. That is still the case, sir. And then like begins like climbing down, like no questions asked. He wants to know what's going on.
As your head just disappears below the wall, you hear Tapti say, "I might consider it." As she kind of lowers the rope. I'm
Bani,
I don't not like him. Don't tell him that. As she lowers the rope, and
Take your time, girl.
it is deep. You saw already that the water is about 60 feet below the surface. It takes a while for you to get all the way down, but you do reach the bottom. I am going to take you to the map of this.
I feel like I'm being. Oh no.
There isn't a lot at the moment. Just something on the right hand side, which is the water of the well.
Yes.
But since Bharat has reached the bottom, you have to you can see that the water is quite filthy. But you swing yourself to what you see is a platform, like a solid platform around the water. And on,
Oh.
let me find the right place to draw this square from. Which
I hate this.
so
I hate this.
there is in fact a ledge around the water. It is a few feet above the surface of the water, where you drop down on, and you can see these three alcoves. It is very dimly lit. It is quite a bit below the surface. There is only a little bit of light coming down here, so you can just barely make out these three alcoves cut into the walls. That is what you see, but you do not see Atwa. You do not obviously see the children. It was quite clear that Atwa's footsteps stopped at the well, so he must be in the well, but you don't see him here. Whereas, so that is where you are. The rest of you are still up top. How are we?
I'm going down. I'm going down next.
All right. So Nongkun also, perhaps I would say lighter than Bharat. So Tapti doesn't have much trouble lowering you down. She uses one hand this time. So you get on.
Wow!
Just showing off. She's like flexing her other muscle while she kind of with the other hand she just loosens the rope enough for you to get all the way down. Nongkun, basically you pretty much see the same thing. Nothing changes for you. Now this time Tapti looks to Bani and Bhattacharya and says, "All right, who's next?"
Bani looks at Dr. Professor Uncle, looks down into the well, like not super, like not peering super over it, but something like, oh no, guys, are you okay?
You can hear
No,
this
Bani,
echoing
I'm
voice.
dead. I'm dead speaking to you for the darkness of this well.
I told you, so dangerous.
Remember this,
Older
the
people.
legacy you've given me. You left me here down here to die.
First of all,
Bani,
you are
you
not
and I
my
were
son.
Oh!
Ouch,
So-
damn.
Oh, Professor is right there.
No
That's fine.
legacy.
Triggers a little bit with recent memories. All right, let's move on from that.
listen, Bani, you and I were right. We should not be going down there.
This
Let
is what
these
I'm
two have.
saying. Young people
I know.
need to learn about life.
Yes,
themselves.
they're athletic. They can manage.
Athletic. See? Correct.
You
word.
can talk to us from here. Wait a minute.
What?
As Bani and Dr. Bhattacharya stay up top, Bharat and Nongkun, you are down there. Are you investigating the
Yeah.
alcoves? Or anything?
Yeah, I think Bharat will like lift himself onto the ledge and maybe help Nongkun up onto it as well. And he's just kind of looking around and it's just like, there must be something here. He can't have disappeared into thin air, right?
As you approach one of the alcoves, you can smell fresh
Oh
blood.
my god.
I think Bharat like freezes a little bit. His hand is now back onto the knife. And he is just like, oh. And looks over at Nongkun and is like, I think I smell blood. And he will approach. So which alcove do I smell the blood on? All
All three.
Oh my
there are blood. All three, is it?
You smell it. I am guessing it is not an unfamiliar smell. to you.
No.
This is not the first time you have smelled fresh blood, so you recognize
Also-
it immediately. No, I mean it's up to you,
Yeah.
but I was just I
I
suppose
will
I
No,
made
no,
the
no, no.
assumption.
It's
All
That's on
accurate.
me.
Accurate.
You know my soul.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. So you smell the metallic smell of fresh blood. You sniff to recognize, like to see where it's coming from, and it's coming from all three.
Yeah, I would like to do two things. I would, as Bharat is saying that there's blood, and I would like to look for
There's blood.
one. I'd like to look for ash, first of all, and then I'd also be looking for any sort of that smell we had when the electricity crackle. Remember that sort of that kind of a smell.
Yeah. That almost
Yeah,
ozone.
only smell I'm looking for. And also, while that is happening, I'm looking to Bharat and I'm like speaking to him. I'm like, Bharat, my bro.
My
Not
bro.
in those words, but like, my bro. It's like, basically,
bros ho gaye.
yep, yeah. And we like, okay, I don't know if this is might be the last time. But you are the only one who hasn't read any of this occult. So, if any three of us turn out to be like the men that we are chasing now, I hope you put that knife to go.
Wait. You speak for yourself. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
You don't hear it. You don't hear it.
That's
No,
what I
that's
wanted
true,
to ask.
I don't
That's
hear
what I
him.
wanted to ask. Like whether we can hear
Too far down.
not the whole
It's-
conversation,
it's,
but for example, when Bharat smelled the blood,
Bharat probably
was
said it
like,
loud enough.
Yeah.
what a vintage and whatever. So like,
You're right.
Yeah.
You're specifically trying to listen, right? So make me listen.
this.
You can do it. Come on.
All sounds should come to you in echoes because it's from down the well. So that would hamper your understanding of them. So let's see
Success.
what
Success.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
surprised. Very surprised.
Yes.
I didn't expect
Yeah.
that.
These old ears can still
You
work.
hear him speak. So you you definitely hear when Bharat exclaimed. He just didn't say to Nongkun that there's blood. He exclaimed that there's blood. So you hear that part, and then you hear a little bit of snatches of Nongkun then speaking to Bharat. You hear something about like you putting the knife to good use. Us three. So you hear some of it, and you can make sense
So
of it.
I'm listening, and my expressions are changing as I'm hearing it. So I keep relaying what's happening to Professor. If Professor Dr. Uncle is not also doing the same, so I'm like, there's blood, but they're still talking, so that's a good sign. There's for some reason they're talking about a knife. Is somebody threatening? No, but there's not. There's only their voices. And there's, oh, hello, don't kill us.
They're planning to kill us.
It's a whole thing. I will explain later. Shh.
But,
I am so close to getting recognized. The Botanical Association.
Now it's not the time.
If I die before then, I will haunt every single tea leaf on this estate.
You can.
This is not a good time. So Bharat and Nongkun, you hear Bani's voice
He
floating down
hears
somewhere
it.
there. Don't kill us.
Acknowledges it. Like there's a tiny eye roll, and then he looks seriously at Nongkun because, like, Nongkun's not fucking around when they say that, "Hey, put that knife to good use if we turn." And Bharat just like looks at Nongkun very curiously and nods.
Right. So the alcoves actually are in darkness. So you will, unless you're just feeling around, you want to see what's in there, you will need some source of light.
We shout from
don't think-
upstairs. We need a torch.
So question. Would it be possible with the distance and stuff for them to hear what I'm saying, or would it only like just be that Bani is shouting?
Yeah, you'll have to kind of shout down for yourself for you to be
so-
heard.
Belatedly, I think Bani would realize that they don't have any light. So would turn to the would turn and yell, "Wait! What kind of explorers are you people? Don't even have any light. Wait!" And then would turn to Dr. Professor Uncle and be like, "Wait! The professor is giving his smoking equipment. Wait, yeah.
I'm
If-
not.
Yes, you are. You want them?
No, I'm not.
Do you know what is happening? They're talking about killing each other for some reason. We have to stop.
That is
This is
that
the kind
is
of
their problem.
this is the kind of thing. This is the kind of thing that
Not a
happens
big problem.
when we allow young people to just go down into the dark. So we
What
need
is this
to give them light.
ages?
You want me to give up my pipe,
You
the
will
last
get it back.
remnant
I don't want your
possession?
pipe. I do not want your pipe. I want the thing that you light the pipe with.
Oh, yeah, okay, you can have that.
Yeah. And then so I'm like, wait, we're giving you light. This is what elders are for. And then just gives like the thing to Tapti to like put in the bucket.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a matchbox, I
Oh,
suppose.
Probably
and-
like
and
a
like a-
flint light or something, right? Like a.
At the time,
Right.
matchbox. No?
Will they have?
Yeah. The white phosphorus, right? That can burn on, that
Yeah.
can
Oh,
light
yeah,
on
yeah.
any surface, basically. Not
Yeah.
unsafety matches. Tapti says, I think there's some torches around here. People come at night also to get water, and so she goes around behind the tree. There are some torches, like basically branches with rags dipped in oil. So she hands two. So she finds two of them. So she hands them to you without lighting them. So yeah, but they are with you now. What do you want to do?
See, we're so helpful.
I
Wait,
think
Go
I
it
should have lit
down.
my pipe.
So I'm assuming you can use the bucket to lower the torches and the book of matches down. So yeah, so Bharat and Nongkun, now you have torches and matches.
Good. They can set more things on fire and make more ash.
listen,
Like-
we are the most reliable
Like-
people here so far. We didn't have strange premonitions.
Bani turns to the professor when he says a thing about make more ash and goes, "You have a problem."
I do
Yeah.
not, but I've just thought of a thing though.
What?
Like, they clearly set something on fire, right?
Uh-huh.
To make the ash.
Humans, if we are to believe your taste buds, yes.
At this point, I'm questioning it because, like, it's difficult to. You'd get a lot of ash if you were just. You set a human on fire.
Well observed, yes.
Are they really carrying around a bag of ash with like human remains in it?
I mean, depends what they like to lick in their spare time. How is this relevant right now? They're down there.
Well, all
We will-
right. I get it. It's just puzzling me. It feels like there's a connection that I haven't made yet.
So you think whoever is leaving the ash is leaving it strategically, and that the rest of the ash is something that they're keeping for some other reason?
I don't think it's strategic at all. I think they just keep dropping it, but they might be using it for some purpose, and while they're using it, they're dropping it. Maybe they eat it too. I don't know.
Is it perhaps part of a ritual, do you think?
They said they had to. This between you and me. Let's not corrupt Bharat's innocence.
Correct.
But um, they said they sacrifice people and to get powers and things. But there was also one thing, but it couldn't possibly taste like human. They said that well, again, take this with a pinch of salt, or maybe not
Or
with a pinch of
ash.
salt. Relevant, but also not exactly.
Hmm.
It said, here's the thing, that book I read,
Hmm.
it had a couple of ridiculous things in it. And one of the very ridiculous things in it, it said that you could get the power to control all the monsters or summon them or whatever it was
Mhm.
without going through all the sacrificey bits
Right.
if you just ate the book.
Okay, sorry. So,
Let me get a hold of this.
have you ever talked to another learned person about this problem of yours of being obsessed with eating things that other people don't eat?
Why is this a me problem? This is not a me problem. Hello here. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but now I am going to be. This is not something that I have made a habit of. This is happening because of existential circumstances, which is putting me in this horrific situation of
Mhm.
trying to determine what this ridiculous residue is.
Mm-hmm.
I had to unfortunately lick it to find out that it might have been human remains. I am not the one who wrote this book which says, eat me to, gain my knowledge. I am just wondering if perhaps there was another book similar to this, which also was eat me to gain my knowledge. Maybe they set it on fire and ate the ash to gain the knowledge.
I would just like to express my great satisfaction that I have not received the same education that you have, and also that for some reason I have been kept away from books.
I go down the well now. I'm done. Why am I being disrespected for my education here? I am trying to help.
You're all younger than me. I don't care.
I go down the well.
Tapi shrugs and let's. So bucket or rope? She asks.
Whatever's easy on the knees.
That would be the bucket. So
Yeah.
she has. It's a size, actually a sizable bucket, so you can stand within.
Okay.
So you stand within a bucket, and she lowers you gently down. So you get all the way
Oh.
down. Meanwhile, Bharat and Nong, the moment you light up the torches, the alcoves they get illuminated. They're not very tall. They're maybe 4.5 to 5 feet tall. They go about 8 feet deep. And if you were expected to find dead bodies here, that is something you don't see from all the smell of blood and everything. So perhaps that's a relief. What you do see is that within these alcoves, there are, on the far end of them, there are these platforms on which there are these small, maybe a foot tall statues. Very, very vaguely humanoid in shape. You can roll me an occult. By this time, let's say the professor also gets down there, so the professor might be able to help in this. To see if you recognize what the statues depict, but you do see immediately that all the three statues in all the three alcoves, because they're close by, so you have a view of all three. They are all smeared with fresh
Wow.
blood.
3 for the price of 1. That's economical.
Poured. Yeah. Blood
Or
has been poured on them. Not liters and liters of blood,
but
but they are
substantial.
kind of smeared blood.
It's like how you
Okay.
pour
Substantial.
water on.
Kind of, on certain
I'm
statues.
so shit in a cult, but
Can I help you? Is there a thing like that?
I'm wondering because I don't think Bharat. I don't think
No,
Bharat is going to be naturally inclined to do that. But I wonder if I could do some sort of what Bharat wants to do, because he sees that there's substantial blood. Someone who's bleeding that profusely is not going to get healed immediately of that cut. Blood has to drop somewhere.
Mhm.
Is there
Most
droplets
definitely.
of blood or indications of where someone who is that injured would be walking to?
Great line of thinking. Give me a
Watch
spot
it.
hidden
There
roll.
we go. That's better for me. Okay. Okay.
Well brought up.
That is a
Uncle.
35 for a 15 spot hidden.
Yes.
So you got a 50.
No, my score is
On-
50. Mine is 35.
50.
My roll my roll
50.
is
Sorry,
35.
I heard 50. All right, got it. Great, it's a success. Your intuition is correct. There are droplets of blood leading away from the statues into a blank wall. Like it's so I'll just place one token over here to represent. Hang on. Right. So wrong there. So yeah. So what I'm saying is, you are somewhere here. I'm putting one token to represent the three people who are down there. Bani is still up there. These droplets, they kind of just go and end here on this wall, at the edge of the wall. And as you, it obviously, I'm sure it would pique your interest to see those droplets just end there. So as you look, feel around the wall, you see a distinct, like a groove running across part of it in a
Yeah.
door shape.
I think, but like all of y'all, while y'all are figuring out like the occult roles, you see Bharat kind of like putting his hands across the wall to feel the seams. But yeah, I'll give folks the opportunity to do their roles for the occult stuff.
If you would like to, that is. Nong, Khun and Professor are down there. You see the statues, you see the blood. Some of the features of the statues are now obscured with the blood that is poured over there. You see Bharat out there, seems to have found something. So, would you like to try and figure out what the statues represent, or are you?
Yeah, I am looking for.
Looking
Yeah, I'm not doing an occult role. I don't know if what role it is, but I'm not really looking for that. I just want to figure out the statues, and I want to know if one, two things. One, if they are if they are like as old as the well, or if they seem relatively new, and do their faces bear resemblance to, I don't know, things people we know.
The people who've been taken away. That's cool. That's a cool idea.
No. So the statues do seem as old as the rest of the place around here, and the rest of the place does seem quite old, quite ancient. There is some wear on the stones from water, from wind. So all of that does clue you in that this whole place is quite old. You also notice that after the well at the surface level, there were bricks around it. It was like built up from bricks, and some of them were crumbling. But after a certain level, as you came down, the bricks kind of it was no longer bricks. It seemed as if it had been carved out from solid rock. As you go down now on the ground level, at least on the water level, the ledge, the alcoves, everything, all of it seems to be carved out from solid stone, like a monolithic block of stone. There are no barriers, there are no seams except for what Bharat just found. There are fresh blood on the statues, but there you also see traces of like the places where the fresh blood is not covering it. You see old dried up blood as well, smears of those. As old as the place, and part of the place, in fact, the statues are carved right from the bedrock. It is part of the platform, the statue, the alcove, all of it is just like a single piece. There are no seams there. The figures are not human, but they are very vaguely humanoid. Basically, they are like like the proportions are somehow different, somehow wrong.
Yeah, Bani.
Bani is still up there.
Yeah, so I was gonna say Bani has FOMO, so
All gonna die.
is everything okay, guys? Hello.
But it's too
Guys?
focused.
Yes, it's all right. If you'd like to come on down, you may. There are a lot of worms in the water. Be careful.
If you really want me to, and like while she's also saying that, it's just like it's like gesturing to Tapti to like
Be careful. You fall in the water. Worms.
Right. So yeah, Tapti will she just gives this knowing smile, and she lets you down. You get onto the bucket the same way Professor Bhattacharya. You get down on the way to the ledge. Tapti, as she goes to Tapti says, "Do you want me to wait here? Should I go back to the
definitely.
village?"
No, wait here.
Definitely wait to wait.
Please
What?
wait. Do not leave.
We're helping you all as well,
Fine.
you know.
Don't take too long, all right? And she
I mean,
lowers
you
you down.
could go
So,
back to the village and babysit some kids if you
No,
want.
no. It seemed like no. Let's.
yeah, I got the message. I'll wait here. So she lowers you down all the way down. So yeah, all four of you are united. You are there in this place. You have found some statues with blood on them, and Bharat has found a secret door.
May I
Maybe.
check the occult? May I roll occult to check if these statues
Yeah, of
resemble
course.
anything in ye old monster book or
Please.
Or generally,
Please
your
be
knowledge.
careful, uncle.
Listen, according to you all, I've already lost half myself. What's a little more?
It's a bold approach, but go for it.
For a
Listen,
good cause.
I'm rolling great. That is a 002, which means
Whoa.
I succeed.
Oh, I don't know if that's a good thing when Rajib is GMing.
This is true.
Okay. Well, this time
Shots have been fired.
shots have been fired. This time it happens to be a good thing. You recognize the statues, the shape of them, and you realize that they are yakshas. They are representations of yakshas.
Oh,
You also know that generally yakshas are known to be nature deities, typically
Yeah.
associated with forests and water bodies.
they're pretty chill.
They're usually pretty chill. Their worship has at one time their worship was quite widespread as a nature deity, but it seems to have fallen out of favor mostly. You also know that yaksha statues are generally placed in entrances a lot of times to protect those within. But sometimes, because you roll so well, that they are also placed to keep things from getting out. Works both ways.
Hey, everyone, hang on.
See,
Before we
this
do
is what I
anything
mean. He
hasty.
says things, and you're like, you learn. You are gifted with this knowledge, and you're like, wow, thank you, Rajib. Thank you for this knowledge. And then he says more
Extreme
things.
success.
Yeah, he says more things. I'm like, no, I don't want.
This
No.
knowledge
Nice.
is not so
Knowledge is
good.
knowledge.
It's
There's
real.
no good knowledge. There's no knowledge is knowledge.
I mean, ignorance is also bliss. But I will say to everyone, listen. This seems a little strange. So we all know that these are yakshas, right? They protect places. They're nature spirits. Usually entrances protect the homes and residences and dwellings, etc., etc. Sometimes entrances keep things in.
I found a door.
It might not be an entrance, it may be an exit, is what I'm saying.
You found a door?
Yeah, Bharat, like, as soon as he hears that Doctor has basically confirmed that this is, in fact, an entrance, he goes, I found a door then.
It might be an exit, is all I'm saying.
Hang on, 1 second. Tapti? Tapti!
Yeah, still here.
Okay, good. Also, was there a door down here when you came here last by any chance?
What door? There's no door there.
It's hidden. There's a seam along a wall.
There's a hidden door. There's a hidden door. The children. You think they're inside there?
Don't
Really hope
don't
not.
think these things yet, Tapti. We are on the case.
Oh, are we though?
Yes.
Do
yes,
you- Do,
Uh,
do we want to ask
Bharat?
Taki to come in?
No.
no, then who's gonna
No.
help us out?
Yeah, exactly. What
Can
these
you
nature
climb
spirits will
vertically?
put us up there? No. One
Can you
second.
just like climb vertically out of a well, Nong? Is that a skill they taught you in investigative journalism?
Okay. So no. So Bharat, when you felt the scene,
Hmm?
your fingers come away dusty.
It might. I mean, probably not, right?
No.
Because it's been opened.
And it's a very, very fine scene.
Yeah.
Basically, whether it looks like it's new or as old as everything else. There's no way to tell.
I mean, both parts of it, the door and the wall around it, they seem to be of the same material.
Fair enough.
Bharat looks at all the bloodied statues, looks at this hidden door, looks at all the bloodied statues again, looks at the rest of everyone. I don't like where this is going.
Yeah.
I've
So
said
usually yakshas don't have like blood offerings that I know of. Usually. Maybe it's a
Usually,
thing here.
would Bani know this about yakshas as well?
you know, like once the professor recognizes them as yakshas and tells the rest of you as much, yes, you would have, sure, you would know some things about yakshas. But yeah, perhaps your knowledge is limited to what the professor only.
So, so Bani would say, does anyone feel like this is some kind of monster that just makes really bad interior decor decisions? Because there was the floating book. There is what looks like blood, which none of you mentioned when I was up there.
I said there's blood here. I believe
Yes, I thought you were
First thing you
talking about
heard.
your own. I thought it was about
Inside the
your own.
body.
I.
There was knives,
mean-
there was blood. I don't know what was going on. Anyway, so can we open this door? Do we think it's a good idea? Or should some of us go back up just in case?
Bharat, in
Some
a
of us.
moment of great, like not paranoia, but there's no other way forward in his mind, and he is a simple-minded folk. He pulls out his little knife / machete, whatever is the appropriate term, and is not going to do the thing that they do in movies where you slice your hand. That's
Yeah,
a
right here,
terrible
right here.
idea. Yeah, it's a terrible idea.
Never hints.
He'll probably do like his arm, because that's probably where there's more blood. And he'll just slice his arm and then drape it over the statue that he's in front of, right in front of everyone. He doesn't say out loud what his plan is. He just does it.
Takes
Wait,
out a
you
dagger,
could've just
slices.
tried pushing.
Never
No,
mind.
Yeah.
it's too. The seam is too fine. I don't think he would conclude that he can push it.
So you take out your dagger right in front of everyone without explaining what you're about to do. Slice your forearm. Let some of the blood drip onto the one of the statues that you are close to. If anybody is close to the door, you hear a creak. There is movement, but the door hasn't budged yet.
Ah,
There are
no,
no
it's for
statues.
all
Oh,
three.
no.
I think who is next to the door, do you think?
I think Professor was next to the door. Can be any.
Sure.
So, because, okay, so Vani turns to Bharat and goes, you thought more blood was the answer?
I heard a creak. Sounds like it worked. We now need 2 more
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, that thing. Hey, I'll
Come,
stay
I
here
can't
and
do it.
watch the door.
I don't even understand what is happening anymore. Okay, let's find these children. Please stop hurting yourself if you can. Thanks.
You might have to.
Yeah. So,
I don't think this is a compulsion on his part.
no.
Oh, but I think it is. It's
The
like
point being,
Bani having known Bharat and like what he does for a living. It's just like
Don't do it in air quotes. Like, don't get paid for this.
no, I'm doing this because I said the word living.
Wow.
Damn.
Anyways,
Anyway,
Indeed.
I will watch the door, and
Okay.
you all can go and see how to activate.
Yeah, Bharat is just holding his little like dagger out.
Yeah.
Bani
Who's
is
next?
trying to decide. Bani's trying to decide whether she wants to stay with whether what is safer, like staying here with the professor or following Bharat, who clearly has a dagger.
I like pure hobo energy. It's like yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, let's go, yaar. He like holds your arm. We go to like the other statue. And then just you said there's fresh blood on each, right? Each of the
All three.
yeah. So he takes Nong Khun's hand, goes to the other one, holds their arm, and he was like, "Don't worry, only slight white hot pain. Quick cut."
Right, Professor, you hear a creak once again, a little
Ooh,
louder
something
than last.
happened. I am puffing away like
It's
like a chimney, by the
I'm
way.
reunited with my matches.
Yeah, listen. I am stressed. This situation is not good for my nerves.
Fair.
So I need to be calm. So I'm doing that.
So
I can-
when the professor starts smoking his pipe, Bani would be like, "Eh," and then
You
then
want some?
and yeah, and like Bani would be like, "Yeah, okay."
Wait, not the pipe. I was just going to give you the leaves. Jeez.
You're right. I forgot the things that you've been up to with that mouth.
Hey.
Bharat looks over at Bani and Professor Dr. Uncle. The invitation is still open, otherwise I'll cut a wound deeper into my arm.
Wait, stop
Your
hurting your.
choice.
Oh my god, stop hurting yourself. Okay, so Bani says, "Okay, wait. And then like gingerly offers her because too much of nanniness is there.
Bharat, very gently in comparison to how he was with Nong Khun, he's like, it's going to hurt. And then cuts me off.
Don't hold out the palm. You
As-
need that hand to do things.
As blood drips from that wound, falls onto the statue, splatters, droplets fly in the air. The blood continues to keep pouring from Bani's open wound, covers the statue. Professor, you feel that creak. You hear the creak once again, and then the door suddenly starts to move as it
Ooh.
it's a part of the wall. It's not even, you can't even call it a door. Part of the wall starts to move and then lowers until it is all the way down on the floor with this sound of stone rubbing against stone until there's a doorway open in front of you.
Ooh.
What you see ahead is a corridor.
Mhm.
So this wall has now opened up. A corridor, there's a gentle twist to it, but you can see across. You can see that the corridor eventually leads to a much larger room here. So I'm just going to move you guys. Am I not able to?
Oh, I don't think we have to.
Yeah, I'm just. Okay. For now, I'll just handle the tokens. So from here, you can see that the corridor definitely leads to a larger room. However, it breaks off both to the left and right into this circular kind of corridor. on this side.
Bharat, before
Very
we
good.
go any further, turns to the others and says, that sound the entrance just made is very loud. Whoever or whatever is here knows we're here. So be ready. And he's not going to sheath his dagger anymore. It's out. He's ready to cut a bitch if anyone shows up. And yeah, then he kind of like stares at the forefront and looks to our other learned friends to decide which path we should take. I am the meat shield. The least you can do is help me navigate.
So Bani would like, I mean, why not? Everyone else is doing it. Lick her finger and hold it up to see if like she
There's
can
wind?
feel any. Yeah, exactly.
No, nothing. No wind whatsoever. It is completely still. Also completely in darkness, but thankfully you have 2 torches among the 4 of you. So you can see ahead of you, but there is no movement. However, you do hear, I mean, the torch light does not illuminate very far, so you cannot see into this room entirely while you're still at the corridor, but you hear sound of what sounds like chains swaying.
Uh-oh.
Bro, why, bro? Why, bro? Already we are in well. Already got blood.
Sorry,
Heavy-
So-
heavy
Like
Heavy
we need
chains.
more trappings, as if we can't get out easily enough. Please.
So that's what you hear from the larger room that is ahead of you. From the other corridors, you hear nothing. So far.
2 questions. Do we see, with the limited range of sight that we have, do we see any droplets of blood on the ground, and that would suggest which direction we should avoid? And do we the chains? So it sounds like the chains against stone or chains against each other.
Chains, metal against metal.
Okay, and I don't know quite how to ask this, so I'm just gonna say, does it sound like the metal is wet?
Roll me a listen check.
Meanwhile,
I
I would
did
like
not
to look
need
for
to think about
inscription.
it.
Sorry.
Both of us are
Comfort,
speaking in
you
the
said
same time. No, I was saying that meanwhile, I would like to look for inscriptions on the wall, if any.
Okay. You're looking for inscriptions in the immediate area where you are. You do not see any.
We are
Nothing.
back to Bani's regularly scheduled roles, so it's a failure.
Lovely.
Well,
It's a failure. So you hear those sounds. Everybody hears those sounds, but you cannot. You're looking for something specific. You
Okay.
can't really determine that.
oh, droplets of blood?
Yes, you do see droplets of blood on the ground because you are aware of them now. You know what to look for. So as you take your torch and turn them here and there to look for them, you see droplets of blood leading away. They get lesser and lesser in intensity as they go further away from the entrance. They are going straight into this chamber and disappearing in the
I guess
darkness.
we need to follow that.
Hey, Mister, I guess we need to follow that. You want to come with us?
I'm ahead of you.
Then that's good.
It's a little dark. I know you can't see me. I'm here. Hang on. I angle my pipe so that the coals are more visible. Can you see me?
I thought
Red
that you were watching the door.
I was. It was very nice craftsmanship. I have to say.
Bharat
Very
looks at Bharat looks at the other 3. It's just like, so just straight ahead. No one wants to go to the sides. Okay, come.
Blood goes straight ahead.
All right, so you go straight ahead and you can now see this area completely. I will.
I don't want to see.
Have you considered letting us live in blissful ignorance?
You know that's an option, right?
Hi! Wow, massive room. I wonder what horrors lie in wait here.
I wonder what roles we're going to be making.
So
This is just a board game basement. We all know that's what kids get up to these days.
Yep.
It's a game room. It's a game room. Question: Does Bani's neck feel any different now that we are done?
Oh, no. Why would you bring that up?
you might have expected, but it does not. In fact, it has quietened down quite a bit. The itch in your neck. There was some rudiments of it even while you were up top, but now inside this place, it's completely gone.
So Bani is feeling better about this.
she's feeling better about this. What you see ahead of you is this rather large room. It seems to be about 60 feet across. It's circular and it has this domed ceiling. So it's like a hemispherical room almost. There are chains, like really heavy chains hanging from the roof and ending like 8 feet or so above the floor. They have hooks at the end and they are all kind of swaying as if in a breeze, but there is absolutely no wind. There is no movement of air inside. Still, they sway gently, and that was the sound that you heard. So now all of you hear the sound of chains gently rattling. You also see that in the center of the room, there is a raised platform, which is about 6 feet wide, and on top of which is what looks like a chopping block. There is a so I'm assuming you are like, if like gently taking a look around the room. So I'm explaining what's in the rest of the room. There is a channel that comes down from this block in the center, this chopping block that goes down from the. I will see if I can put a rectangle or something here. So, oops. All right. So it comes to the sacrificial block. It actually goes all the way around the room. It circles the room along one side. Wow, what is it? Something like this. And then before connecting to its origin point, it just goes into the another opening that leads away from this particular room. You see that on the, let's say, south side, you have perhaps no orientation of cardinals at this point of time, but let's say on the map, on the south side, you see there's a curtain. It was quite thick and heavy, but there's a curtain covering another exit from this room. So yeah, more or less that is what you see. That's what you see around here. Where do you want to go?
Why is there a curtain there? You tell me. Yeah,
Curtain. You want to go walk it open? What's it?
So then let me okay. First, there was a stone door that nobody knew was there. Then the next door is a curtain.
I want to know why there's a curtain underground.
Interesting question.
What is the point?
As you are walking about in this area, trying to discover what's around you, I would like all of you to make power rolls.
Power rolls. Wait, do we get powers?
No, that's not what it stands for.
I rolled this last time. I did not get powers.
Okay, mine's decent. Okay, come on.
What did I get? Of course. I failed.
I don't know.
I'm going to. I rolled, my power is 60. I rolled a 62. I'm going to spend some luck.
And spend some luck.
I mean, may as well.
I may as well. This is the time. Oh, I didn't mean to click luck. Well, I don't know how to. I'll deduct it soon. I'll go in edit mode and there you go. So I'll spend 2 points to make it a success.
All right. Who failed?
3 now.
Same situation. Sorry.
Okay.
I think my power is 80. I rolled 84. I'm spending
4 luck points.
Yeah,
I'm spending
spend
4
it.
luck points. Yeah, so I'll edit the luck points from 20 to 60.
No problem.
Whatever.
Perfect. Nothing happens. Professor and Bani. How about you?
I rolled a 48 versus a 30.
That would be a fail.
Yes, that is indeed a fail, as is apparently what Bani does with rolls.
But
Use your luck.
Yeah, so I was just remind me. So it's essentially 1-to-1 the luck.
Yes.
Do you not have it?
I do, but consider Bani's rolls. Okay, so if I make 30, that's fine, right? Like not 29.
No,
30.
30.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to meet them.
Okay. That's good. I have 34 luck. I will get it off. 18 points of luck. Yes, that seems like a good idea.
Great. Finally, Professor.
You still have higher luck than me, even after
Really?
deducting 18 points. Yeah, my luck was terrible.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
We're
20,
both
now
on
it's
16. Very nice. Very nice.
Lovely.
I think mine is all right. So my power is 65, but I rolled a 38, so
Oh.
I should be.
Great. So all of you basically pass one way or the other. So nothing happens. Where do you want to go? Is the question.
I have a. Bani has a pathological fear of curtains from some kind
You have
of childhood
pathol-
incident.
You have a pathological fear.
Fear of curtains.
curtains.
Yes.
I mean,
Don't
it's
question it,
canon
Bharat.
now.
Don't question it, Bharat. So,
You work in a house
With a lot
What's
of
your
like a lot of
curtains.
curtains.
Always,
Like every room.
constantly terrified.
always afraid.
Oh, sorry, no.
No. I like, and like, this is what I like to check, like, in character. So as like Bani says, he has a biological fear of curtains. I take out my I was basically taking out my camera, and like I was like, and when he says that, and I'm like, huh, what? And I'm like, oh yes, I have a I don't know, and I just want to click something. Okay with you guys, and I see Bharat is holding up his machine like that, and I'm like, I can see the pictures, and
Candles.
You Bharat with a bloodied machete, like walking around this room.
Bharat with a
good.
knife, me with a torch. I'm assuming the other torch is either with Bharat or with Professor Uncle, Dr. Professor Uncle. And oh wait, no. So Doctor has the torch and the pipe. It's just
No,
like
no, I don't have a torch. I just have a pipe.
Okay, just
Okay.
I think Nong and Bharat were the ones who came down first.
Yeah, they were the ones who had the torch.
And the torches in the beginning. If somebody has taken the torch from them, that's a different.
I mean, if this one is taking pictures for some reason at this point to preserve these precious memories,
it's all for the report. It's all for the
Pictures of
report.
my best friend, Bharat, holding a knife.
with my blood on it, I would. I think I would take the torch from.
I'm taking a picture of the curtain.
Okay.
Oh
There's-
God.
There's not a lot of light in there, and your camera is prehistoric. So roll me a photography. This is just to see for
Yeah.
posterity. It is not immediately. It will not matter, but to see if you got anything out of it.
Oh, look at these rolls now. It is an 8. So I think I succeeded.
Well done.
Good.
Great. So you get some great pictures. Perhaps they will feature in some magazine someday. But
Never
Someday.
for now, right. So you have, you entered from here. You have a path leading out, but from where you are, it seems like it. Leads to something suspiciously similar to this corridor over here, where it breaks into two, and there's this circular almost corridor that goes both up and down, and then you have this nice thick curtain.
Rajib,
Yes.
well, remember this. Remember this. When you decide to kill me later, please remember this moment where I gave you a gift and gave you rights as an arcane keeper of law. Bharat kind of looks at Nongkun, who's busy taking pictures, and took a picture of the curtains and then walked away. Bharat is just like, I'm gonna go see what's behind those curtains. It could be the children. Walks up, pulls the curtains.
All right. You pull the curtain open. It is a smaller room on the other side of it. It's a room. It's just a room.
It's just a room.
Yeah.
It's a little hidey hole.
So, it's a smaller room. The curtain, you don't linger on it much. I'm sure you like. As you
No,
said,
he literally had the knife and he was ready.
as you said, you quickly thrust it away and you enter. But it felt oddly. It's very difficult to describe what the texture of the curtain felt like, but it did not feel nice.
Huh?
We do not
What
need
does
details.
that mean? What the fuck does that mean?
We do not need
I
details.
was right. I was right to be afraid of the curtain. The curtain is scary.
What do you mean it doesn't feel nice? What is the curtain made out of?
It doesn't feel right.
Don't think about it, Bharat. Don't think about it. Preserve your innocence.
You know, it's like velvet which is rubbed up the wrong way. Feels a little
Oh
odd.
yeah, but Bharat does feel very neurodivergent and will definitely have texture issues. Anyway, yes, we're not gonna linger on the texture of the curtain for now.
What if it's made of skin?
I
Please
mean,
don't.
Oh my god, why are we talking about it?
one word I can use to describe the curtain, if I would choose a word to describe it, it would be rancid.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Any
well,
which
it
way,
could have been
on
worse.
the other side of the rancid curtain, there is this which seems like not a skip room for all intents and purposes. There is a raised platform on the far side, and on top of it, which you see numerous, to your eyes,
Don't say.
like it looks like weapons. First of
Oh,
all, to your
thank God.
eyes, but unusual in their shape. They are all. It looks like bladed weapons, but somehow unusual. I don't know what exposure you would have to this, but they seem like surgical equipment. So it's up to you whether you register that or not. There is a shelf somewhere here which has some coins and some trinkets and things like that. And what else? Underneath the platform, there is a large earthen jug, and as you like go close to it, you can smell oil. It is so it's and it's kind of almost seeping out of the pores of the earthen jug where it has been kept, and it has been quite a while. So it has the oil is also like kind of turning bad. So it smells like spoiled oil, but it is definitely oil in there, or maybe fat. Who knows? Yeah, more or less that is what I find. There are two doors.
I hate that. I hate that you described it that way. Me
Yep.
personally.
Who knows?
You're inflicting violence not on Bharat because he's a simple man. You're inflicting it on me.
Everything Rajib says is just making us all like hysterical with laughter. And I think that tells you how this is affecting us. Rajib, think of the people. Think of the game.
May or may not be. I just said maybe. Who knows? We have a tester who likes
Yeah.
these things.
No, literally, Bharat, as soon as he enters this room, realizes all the sciencey shit that's going on in here. Will just be like, Uncle, and will like snap his fingers for Uncle.
Excuse me?
Doctor, Doctor Professor Uncle, I think Bharat is calling you behind the curtain.
At least say Thor. Hey,
Uncle, sir.
Uncle, sir, come.
yes, yes, I'm coming.
Doctor Uncle, Professor Sir.
Right? So, Professor, as you come in, gingerly handling the transit curtain once again, you see mostly the same thing, and you
Can
do
you stop?
realize that these the curtain, the instruments that are on the platform, they can definitely be wielded as weapons. Some of them are rusted, some of them are bent from use, but they do have like very primitive surgical weapon-like features. Some of the coins that you see on the shelf next to the platform, I'll just say you recognize them as not of this era at all. They are ancient. They might actually be quite valuable if you take them out of here, because they look like from like even like pre-Mughal times, basically.
Wow.
Yeah,
You might be rich, everyone. There's like coins here which are rare. Some of them can sell for good amount. Anyways,
Tens of rupees.
Yes, tens of
Nong, Khun and Bani, you're still out there in the main chamber, right? You're
Yep,
not
I
really here.
am not going anywhere near the curtain.
I'd like both of you to make listen rolls.
Okay.
No.
No, not like this.
Yes,
I
like
was
this.
so nice. I opened the curtain.
Ah, what did I roll? Success. I rolled a success.
One.
Oh, nice. All right, I said nice, but I think we know
Oh,
how
God.
that goes.
Listen.
Yeah.
No,
I also
okay.
have a
Happens to
success.
Bani and Bani
All
only.
right, so both Nong and Bani, you hear like the professor and Bharat in there inside the chamber. You don't see them, but you hear them chattering about. They're speaking about some surgical equipments. They're talking about coins and things like that. But then suddenly you hear something else coming from this corridor, from somewhere up.
Uh,
And what it sounds like is this like a thump followed by the sound of something dragging, and a thump
Oh.
and this sound of dragging, and a thump and a sound of dragging. It's louder and louder until on this doorway with
Oh,
you
yeah.
holding your tortoise appears this humanoid figure, but in like the most barest of senses, because you can see that what's left of them is more or less a skeleton. The organs are still there,
No.
where they shouldn't be there. There is nothing to hold them down. There is nothing to bind them. There is no skin. There is no meat. But somehow the internal organs are still there. They are beating. You can see. I mean, if you needed a lesson in anatomy, you have it here.
Nope, don't need a lesson in that.
No.
The
I'm good. I'm opting out of the class, sir.
the face is just the skull, and you can see the rib, you can see the rib cage, all of it, but you can see the heart beating, pumping away underneath. You can see the lungs expanding, collapsing. Something is still keeping it standing, something is still keeping it alive. It is definitely not nature. And this creature is carrying with it this, like, it's basically a saw, the kind of saw that is used to fell large trees, where two people handle it from each side and then like saw away so that these like 20 feet, 25 feet diameter trees fall. So it's far larger than the creature itself, and that was the sound of the dragging that you heard. It's I mean, it saw the light within the chamber where it is were not supposed to be, so perhaps that is what attracted it to here. And then it sees these two of you standing right there. It doesn't seem happy at the sight of you. It gives, you can see it open its mouth and make the motion of screaming, but you hear no sound from this creature. But
All of this sounds good.
you had seen this platform in the center, you had seen this block. You would have noticed by this time that all of it is covered in this black, like it's like coated in this black thing. It is dry. It like so it might have reminded you of what the statues outside look like underneath the fresh blood. And then with dread, you realize that the drainage that goes all the way around the room and then goes out of it, that is also covered in this black gooey thing. And as this creature shouts, screams soundlessly, you hear this bubbling sound. All of that goopy, thick, dried up thing, it just coalesces together and then starts coming together in the center of
Nope.
and starts forming this shape.
Oh, no.
And then within moments, standing before you is this being, creature, whatever. It's formless, shapeless, yet it has tendrils, tentacles that are like kind of going out of it. And then as you watch the so I mean, it's bright red, it's crimson. You now can smell blood distinctly, and it's overwhelming, the smell of blood all around you. If any of this is getting too much, I may have the next card. I'm just looking at the expression, but yeah, you smell blood overwhelmingly, and the around it's swirling, it's moving constantly, and it starts forming faces. These faces that push out And on all of these faces, there is agony. As the creature that was holding the sword, it pulls it up, and it is holding that giant 14-foot long thing aloft, and it starts rushing towards the two of you. And that is where we will end this session.
No. 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 That's not good. I mean, wow, what an ending, but also.
We just have one session left after this, so yeah. Now you know. So, it was us.
we have 10 minutes worth of sanity left in all of us.
Rajib is giving us options actually. You have two choices. Killed by blood and many faces and agony, or 14-foot long saw. You decide. Your choice.
So many choices. Or you could, go near a curtain. That's also
I
Perhaps
made
the
a
curtain
good
will protect
choice.
you.
I made a very good
The
choice.
curtain is going to deter it.
Right, so that was us from Daisies and Dragons playing Cup of Sorrow, a Call of Cthulhu mini
Yeah.
campaign. This was our third episode. We will meet next time for what is going to be our finale. I have been Rajib, your keeper of arcane lore. I have some adventures I've written for 5e, also Drive to RPG DM skill. You may or may not find the details down below. But yeah, that was me. So throwing it to our players, we will start in the same order. So that's going to be Nong Khun first, or was it not? But yeah, we will have Chao go first.
Yes, I don't like you. But
I take that as a compliment.
sure, if you know, if I have to sleep at night. But yeah, so I've been, I am Chao Noi, and I've been Nong Khun. I don't know for how long, but that's primarily it. I don't have anything to plug in. Also, don't find me on the internet. Bye-bye.
That's your plan. All right, Alika.
Yes, hello. I am #scared, but also very excited. I am here for my character dying in a horrible way because let's face it, he has made some terrible decisions and deserves. But yes, I am Alika. You can find me on the internet at CapeCoxAlex if you want to. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. I'm not so active anymore, guys, because let's face it, neither of those platforms are doing anything worthwhile at this point. Yes. What else? Do I have anything to plug? No. Look at my art. That's it.
Look at Alika's
Nice
art.
art. Yeah.
Amazing. Poorna.
Hi everyone, I am Poorna, and you can find me on the internet Poorna Samdar. My pronouns are she, her. As I mentioned at the start, I am wearing a purple dress, and so glad that I cannot see or feel the things that have been described. Because, yeah, I don't know why Rajib is doing this to us. But I'm sure we will all find out soon. Anyway, so yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Amazon. I think I said that I'm too frazzled to remember. I write things and edit things when I have full sanity available, and also I'm not, I promise, like Bani in real life.
Bani
Great.
is awesome, though. What are you talking about?
In some ways,
You literally,
cutting words,
you
man.
literally
cutting
you
words.
literally went down a well. To be like, I can't.
Awesome. And finally, we
Hi
have
everyone, I'm Valiant Dorian. I use he and his pronouns. You can find me all around the internet at Valiant Dorian or at Also Spirit Bear. Please enjoy the lovely church I just set you on. I'm a TTRPG performer, Twitch variety streamer, and GM. I'm currently developing my first ever TTRPG. It's called The Beast Within, where you play as humanoids that can turn into werebeasts. So you can choose between your humanity or your werebeast selves. It's very, very cool. It's in development, and help me hit stretch goals so I can make my artists draw more unhinged things.
Yes.
Kind of the same level of unhinged as Rajib's narration towards the end there.
Ooh, I like that.
Terrified the shit out of me. But yeah, tonight I was Bharat, who uses he, him pronouns, resident, totally best friends with a man in the village, and is honestly doing his best in the circumstances. He could have been worse. But yeah, that is me. Take us away, Keeper.
All right, amazing. So that was our session. We will see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.